to the Luke and Pete Show. It is Thursday the 13th of August. My name is Pete Donaldson. I'm joined by Mr. Lukey Moore.
Aha!
Aha! Lukey, have you got a flight case behind you full of, like, records? Have you been crate digging? To your right, over your right shoulder.
That's my 7-inch collection.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
Lukey, 7 inches.
Some of them are actually up on the wall now.
Oh, lovely.
I'm in the top bedroom, mate. So this is supposed to be the music room, but it's 465 degrees at the moment. So not much record playing going on.
We're heading. I wouldn't even trust your vinyl in this heat. To be honest, I would put them in the freezer for crying out loud. The vinyl can melt in hot temperatures, but I'm sure you'll be all right in that there, London.
I run a little aircon unit in here.
Do you? Well, we're running into another heat wave, aren't we? How many heat waves?
Yes, we are. Fifth of the summer.
Fifth of the summer. But it seems like the rules of what makes a heat wave and what doesn't. It seems quite flexible and fluid, possibly because it's melted. Do you not think that like they're just adding in another heat wave for a laugh, just to really make a point?
No, because it just is really hot.
Yeah, you got a heat wave.
Ultimately, it's just so hot all the time. I looked back on the weather data, and the last time it rained where I live, it was June the 5th.
We had like 5 minutes of rain, I think the start of last week, and it was like
we didn't even get that.
We just got 5 minutes and it stopped, and I was like, what the hell is going on? I am currently. Can you see how high can I sort of go up in my chair for you to know?
You look, you're wearing an Elvis jumpsuit.
Well, I'm wearing a shirt, a little sort of North Korean kind of jumpsuit sort of thing. It's actually inside out. That's a nightmare, isn't it? But I'm actually
North Korean. What?
I'm actually after.
That is sexy.
Absolutely.
That's the sexiest thing I've seen you wear since that barrel.
I'm like, fuck it. It's coming off for those of you watching
Take it off, mate. You look sensational with your top off.
Take it off.
There we
go.
It back on again.
Back on. It's very
mate,
heavy.
The world
Too
is
heavy
the world is quite simply burning. It is burning. Large sections of it are on fire. No one is going to do anything about it. We're just going to have to carry on as we are. It is absolute. I personally believe it is absolutely bananas how hot it's been this summer. It's been crazy. It's been the hottest, driest June and the hottest, driest July. And the July temperature stuff it's not even been close. It's been really, really bad.
Well, you know, as you said, we're not going to do anything about it. We're just going to have to deal with we're not even dealing with the effects. You know what I mean? We've not even got a plan for dealing with the effects. We're just going, oh, well, you know, it's hot, innit? Oh, it's hot. And I think we were speaking to somebody who works in broadcast media, and they said that they work with weather people, and they don't really talk about the bigger issues that feed into weather. They just sort of go, it's hot today, innit? It's like, yeah, it is.
Isn't that funny?
Just hot today.
Because
the
unique position the BBC's in, I presume they're too frightened to say what's causing it, right? Because it's become a political football.
Yeah, which is not their fault, not anyone's, but it just seems weird that they would. It just seems demented that they would not even mention the fact that this has all been caused, you know, by a certain thing.
Well, Pete, you are failing to realise or failing to accept the chance that 99% of climate scientists agree that man-made climate change is causing the Earth to get hotter, but there are a few plucky scientists who are funded by fossil fuel companies who say it might not be the case. So I think you just need to make sure that you're teaching both sides of the argument.
Balance,
so
exactly. Because if you bring someone from one side, exactly.
Just to be clear, the world's leading minds in massive numbers in this area on that side, and a couple of people exclusively funded by fossil fuel companies on the other side. Let's just teach the balance.
Or just mad, or just of an age where being contrary is a lifestyle choice, is a USP.
That's a good point, actually.
Just being a shit is just, you know, people look at you. If you strip naked and wanking in the middle of a town square, people look at you, don't they? Like, so if you're going to do that sort of thing, people are going to take notice. It's attention.
A laugh is a laugh.
The attention economy.
Is attention. Just at the time we're recording this, at the exact time we're recording this, there's an area roughly 4 times the size of Paris on fire in France.
Yeah. Do it in Paris. Do it in Paris. Do it.
But people should
do it there.
Can I also just point out as well, to be balanced,
burn off some of that stink.
There's a lot of shareholder value being generated. So can we think about that?
Exactly. Can we monetize the fire somehow? Can we do something with the fire?
Can we do a live stream?
Can we throw batteries in the fire?
It is. I am partly annoyed. I'm partly just annoyed because it's just hot all the time. That's basically
I thought you were going to give us you had the partly, and then I thought you were going to give us what. I
think I'm trying to be righteously indignant and feel like I'm on the right side of history, but I need to be honest and let you know that a lot of it is coming from a place where I'm just fed up of it.
You're just hot.
It's emotionally led.
No. Do a Donaldson, take
I
your
have
top
to see
off.
myself my top off and then I'll feel worse.
Hey, I was in, we had a weekend, not a weekend, an evening away because Sarah's brother was looking after the little one. And we've only done it once before and we had a colossal argument. So this one was better because there was no
tell us about the first one then. You say that. We want to hear about the first one.
I think I might have mentioned it on the show. It was all down to me forgetting to lock a car and running away from my responsibilities in that area. But this one was good. And I had I had 3 hours basically spare while Sarah worked. And I was just exploring London. I hadn't brought enough T-shirts. I bought myself an I Love London T-shirt. So I was wearing that to the Tate.
What part of London were you in?
I was in South Bank. I stayed in the Sea Container Hotel. It used to be the Mondrian.
Oh, that's nice, that one.
Yeah, it is really nice. They've spent a lot of money. I don't know how they managed to get them because I'm a man who also owns one. They've spent a lot of money on oldie-timey divers, reproductions of divers masks, divers.
They have. The cocktail bar there's really nice though.
It is, yeah. There's the one on the roof, less so on a Saturday night because it's just full of absolute towels. Just absolute. Trying to think of a rude word. I was like, what's useless and limp? Towels. Yeah. Towels are useless and limp.
Wet wipes.
Wet wipes. But yeah, just a lot of people just playing really loud, sort of just such generic dance music. I wouldn't mind if it was something that was in the hit parade. But it's just just
Childish Gambino.
Childish Gambino. This is America. Just play that over and over again, and when the gun goes off, put the volume really high up. It's quite hard, and it's just a lot of noise. Anyway, wandered around. Just went to the Tate, and I was like, I'll just go to the Tate for half an hour, see what's going on there because I've not been to the Tate for probably a decade, and I spent about 3 hours in there. It's fucking brilliant, isn't it? The Tate is fucking brilliant.
It's good. It is good.
I'm trying to think of the things that enchanted me. I didn't go to any of the paid stuff. I didn't go to the stuff that would be useful in conversation, like the who's that Mexican lady with the eyebrows? Spanish,
Frida
Mexican,
Kahlo.
Frida Kahlo, Mexican. There was one of them exhibitions, and there was a Tracy Emin exhibition. But I didn't spend any money doing that. I just tootled around the free stuff, and watched a video all about how they restored the Marilyn Monroe, Andy Warhol pictures and stuff. Turns out just a lot of thin gel. We used a lot of thin gel, so I just watched a lot of middle-class women cradling these little squares of thin gel, popping them on the picture, and then lift them up really quickly in a well-orchestrated kind of order. And they've got like a head sort of chemical sort of scientist that works for the Tate that maintains all of the, makes sure that the paintings are really, to use the expression pop art, popping on the wall. And she and they showed a before and after picture. It was imperceptible to anything really.
Was it really?
Yeah, because it's a relatively modern painting, I suppose, isn't it? She sort of said with those oldie-timey paintings, she didn't use those words. She's probably used better words than that. When you clean a painting, you're getting rid of all of the varnish and all of the years and years of biff to smoke and stuff, and like all that stuff comes off, and it's a real transformation. But this is like it's been protected since it was made, so it's not going to pop massively. But she basically said, I can tell. I think the gels were worth it. I should keep my job. So just a bit of that, really.
Is it done also so that it lasts longer and stuff as well?
I guess so, but it's quite. It's interesting. You sort of turn on the corner in the Tate, and there's a load of stuff you've obviously never seen before, and then you'll just turn around the corner, and there's that, and you're like, oh fuck, that's a big lad. Or you'll turn on the corner, and there'll be just a Mondrian hanging out with all of the other paintings and stuff.
I love
that.
It's exciting,
that's big, isn't it? It's proper exciting. In the words of
Art
Brew,
exciting to see something that like a great painter actually painted. If you know what I mean, you see the brush strokes of like like a Matisse or something. It's amazing. I was speaking of that restoration thing. I remember a while ago reading about the Last Supper, Da Vinci's The Last Supper.
Yeah.
Right. And so I didn't know this, but I kind of looked it up because I was interested in it. I think I caught some of it on TV or something. That the Da Vinci's The Last Supper has gone through so many restorations that like there's effectively nothing left of the original fresco now. It's kind of interesting, right? Apparently,
so they just basically daubed painting. They put paint in as well as taking it out.
Because he painted it on a dry stone wall. So basically, I think within like a year when it was painted, in like in the late 15th century, it was starting to decay instantly. Basically, So it's had to be continually restored, and then the whole. Is it on the wall of a convent or certainly some kind of religious building, like a church or something? That was bombed quite badly in the Second World War, which meant that then there was no ability to temperature control it or keep it away from the elements for like absolutely ages.
Right.
And now it's in like a temperature controlled kind of state and it's being looked after. But essentially, none of it is the original. The most recent restoration took like 20 odd years to do it. And it's a bit of a ship of Theseus, really. It's kind of an interesting philosophical understand, because you know what the ship of Theseus about? Yeah, is it the original ship or not? If you replace a plank,
Trigger's broom. You know,
Trigger's broom.
Trigger's broom's only got 2 parts. We're an only Phil's horses podcast.
True.
Remember?
So you remember when Trigger fell through when Del Boy fell through the bar talking to Trigger?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was like the bomb.
If that bar had each panel of wood replaced every time someone had a beer, would it be the original bar? Like my point being that, like, of course I understand that, you know, people are excited to see The Last Supper, but it's not The Last Supper.
It's not The Last Supper.
It's quite literally
generations of people restoring and rain and all that stuff that's gone on top of it, really. Yeah, and restoration has intentions. Restoration has politics, Luke. There was a video. There was a modern artiste who was a Guatemalan Guatemalan chap who his video artwork was him in a basement. We did a few different things. They were arresting and interesting, and you know, it's one of those things where a lot of these things are like, okay, you've done that, and I feel sometimes they retcon the intention. I swear the artist just goes, this is an arresting image, this is an interesting image, you want to see anything like this before, what can I make it about? To genuinely believe.
Wait, do you reckon they backfitted it?
Yeah, so the man, he's in a basement with all of his, you can tell they're kind of art students and stuff because they're pretty and middle class. This guy is wearing basically the clothing that Johnny Burrell would wear early Razor, like white, ever so white sort of denim trousers and a sort of white shirt. And he
denim
takes
trousers, or as normal people call them, jeans. Quite simply, jeans.
Denim. No, but what you wouldn't say white. You got to say white denim, haven't you? You can't say
white jeans.
White jeans. I think they're cut differently. It's a completely different product. Boom.
All right, we'll stick with denim trousers.
You're thinking about you're wavering with your lips on top of your little drink, thinking, should I bother?
I'm confident that I would say white jeans.
Toss on this one?
A pair of white jeans. A pair of white jeans is fine. That's what people would say. But you carry on.
Okay, right, fine. Some white denim trousers, and he's and black shoes, and he's in a basement with and basically there's like arranged around are some beds. It looks a little bit medical, because everyone's wearing white sort of belly tops and stuff, and the beds are like oldie timey kind of wartime stretcher looking things, and the bed where the mattress would be, no mattresses, the bed where the mattress would be are kind of like this fine sort of mesh, as you'd see in the war, limited resources and all that stuff, so there's no support really, but just limited like mesh sort of thing. Anyway, his buddy, his chum, has got like a white, a clear glass sort of tray, and he's got a black roller and a load of Indian ink all over this glass, this Guatemalan man is massive, big old fella, right. And he gets the ink and he rubs it all over the glass, and then he what does he do now? Yeah, he gets the roller and rolls it all over the wire mesh on the bed. And then he gets some of the assistants, some of the art students, and he just basically mushes their face on it. And then so they've got this sort of black mesh all over their face and boob, and then he takes his top off, and he is an astonishingly built man, a bit big, like tight white trousers, but the biggest belly you've ever seen in your life, and the most humongous boobies you've ever seen in your life. And then he lies down on the mesh, and then he stands up, and then he's mushing it all over, and so he's covered in the mesh stuff.
Why are they doing this?
It's to show how permanent abuse in a hospital setting can be, because it sort of the abuse stays with you like ink.
And what did you come away from it thinking?
That guy's got some lovely big boobies.
Yeah, I thought you might say that.
Absolutely. But like, imagine the biggest male booby you've ever seen in your life.
Are they the only reason you're telling the story?
Yes. Well, the other piece he had, he's basically in a lay-by painting a man blue. And it's like, take your top off, mate. Take your top off for crying out loud.
Let the dog see the rabbit.
Hell. I was like, Guatemalan arty people, like, they eat well, don't they? I was like, fucking hell, this guy's massive. I've just never seen such big old busters on a man.
And this was in the Tate Modern,
and it was quite distracting from what his point was. Here he is. Here's the little scamp.
Yeah, I mean
that was 2012, so plenty of
time hasn't been kind.
Well, time's continued on the same trajectory, and I'm not fat shaming. It's just a. I'm in a gallery. I'm allowed to look at what I want. I'm allowed to.
I know what you're thinking as well. You're thinking, I could get involved with this.
Yeah, not cynically, just genuinely,
what you do.
Not cynically, just genuinely like that. This looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, and like I say, you are in many ways unwittingly, but you are a bit of a performance artist yourself.
Yeah. Piss artist, mate.
And I think I like the idea of you watching this. I know you said that Sarah wasn't around, but I like the idea of you edging closer and closer to the exhibition and grabbing your hand, pulling you back.
Sorry, exhibition. Can you do it under a nom de plume, please?
You're undoing the shirt and thinking, this is a bit of me, this.
All inky. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I had to spray mount a load of paper together today. And that's everywhere now. So I would need another apology. I would need Apology Cabin 2. I'd need Downing Street North. I'd need an extra place to be.
I know what you apologised for last summer.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, maybe when this horrific summer ends, I can flip the wee paddling pool upside down, and that can be my Apology Cabin 2.
It's fun, isn't it? Because the kind of people who would do a big protest piece of art about the current climate crisis that we're all living through, this kind of essential living hell that we're going through, they would do that, and no one would notice, no one would care.
No,
they do a big protest piece of art. They'd pour oil all over themselves. Someone would set themselves on fire. It would run at the Barbican for 4 weeks. Yeah, and the Guardian would give it 4 stars, and everyone would move on.
Yeah,
we'd all get back in our cars and crack on.
You know what I don't like about art? Prosecco. Whenever there's a gallery opening or a new exhibition, there's always this posh bit with the little glasses of fucking Prosecco. I shall not have it.
I don't think I've ever been to a gallery opening.
You ever been to a gallery opening where someone sort of
never
says, "Come down,
invited.
have a look"?
Probably
Never
wouldn't go
invited.
if I was. It's not my scene. I
Not your
think people
scene.
would.
Right.
I think people would think of me as being very out of place in that kind of scene.
Okay. Yeah.
I can bluff my way through any kind of conversation, but I think in that situation, I think I'm probably too kind of obnoxious.
Right. Okay. I like that you were looking for that word, and you got there
I
in the
almost said gregarious, but I thought that makes me sound better than I am. So I went with obnoxious.
Affable.
I very much enjoy going to galleries and stuff. I love, I particularly like kind of Renaissance art, like older stuff. There was a really good Titian exhibition in the National Portrait Gallery a few years ago. I mean, it genuinely was very effective. So good, like really, really good. And I love that kind of art. I'm not really as much into the kind of the modern stuff, I don't think.
It's more just like mounting techniques. Because like some of them, like I'd seen it before, Wheeler. I'm sure I'd seen it in the tape before, like years ago. They got this big fucking girder coming out the wall, and I'm thinking, how have they mounted that so it looks absolutely perfect?
A lot of it is where they put it, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it's just kind of having that amount of space. I think do something, whatever you do, like it's something normal big is like fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like just seeing something that's just a space that is just dedicated to art, and it doesn't really matter what the art is, just to see it at such scale and with such kind of verbosity, because such kind of such audacity to have something at that scale. You're like, that's art because it's big.
I loved one thing I did love is I remember back in the day, about 15 years ago or so, I went to the Tate Modern and saw Ai Weiwei's sunflower seeds. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. No, is that just is that pictures made with sunflower seeds or just a lot of sunflower seeds?
It was 100 million, I think, individually painted porcelain sunflower seeds.
Good God!
That he put all across the floor of the turbine hall of the Tate Modern.
Yeah,
I mean it's fucking incredible to see.
Yeah.
Like, it was amazing to look at. You know, it's really, and obviously I guess the themes are pretty obvious, right? Because sunflower seeds are a kind of Chinese Communist Party propaganda kind of tool, and obviously 100 million, I suppose, represents all the people in China, and porcelain, Chinese kind of porcelain is a thing. It was cool, man. And obviously he is an amazing. He's obviously a dissident, isn't he? Who uses art to kind of protest the Chinese regime, which is an amazing thing. I respect it a great deal.
It's more one of those things where it's like when those kind of like auteurs kind of do their thing. For a fact he's painted 3 of them. And the rest have just been his team.
They have teams, don't they?
Yeah.
But Titian had a team, mate.
Yeah.
Titian had a whole team of young lads doing this thing. But one thing that was fascinating about that sunflower seeds exhibition, by the way, is that 100 kilograms of them were sold.
Right, okay. Yeah.
For like a lot of money, like $500,000. And I remember thinking, what? Who's buying that and what they're doing with them?
Well, it's just a bit like, it's like the old Banksy £10 notes, wasn't it? With Princess Diana on.
But he put those in circulation, didn't he?
No, I think he sold. There was loads on people's walls. He definitely sold some of them.
But I think a lot of them also got put in circulation,
right?
Which is a part of the project.
Okay.
I guess the sunflower seeds, I kind of thought they should have sold them individually at the Tate shop or something. But I maybe Ai Weiwei didn't want that, perhaps.
That would feel a bit, especially if you're raging against the. Well, I guess if you're raging against the Communist Party, you would want to be a capitalist, wouldn't you? So just that's
a great thing about it, isn't it? You position yourself against that, like you make as much money as you can.
Yeah, as much as you protest. Like. Yeah, NFTs.
It's a protest.
You can't even own one of the porcelain ones. They're all NFTs. Fuck you.
Did you see that Gary V NFT clip was doing the rounds?
Gary V, is he the bloke who?
It's the
Gary
fucking weirdest thing, mate.
NFT. Gary.
It's the
weirdest
weirdest
thing. The eyebrows. Gary V. Yes, I know Gary V. Yes, no, I didn't see it, but I'm familiar with the fella. I sometimes just need the faces in my mind.
It's he's basically just trying to. He's a man of a certain age, right? And he's pretty successful. I think he's like a multi-millionaire, right? And he's one of these types that people.
He was a major NFT guy, wasn't he?
Yeah. If I'm like him, I'll be rich as well. One of those kind of guys, and he does nothing to disavow people of that kind of notion.
Yeah.
And he's got these couple of young lads on this podcast saying, "Oh, what NFTs are you really excited about at the moment?" And he's going like, I mean, I'm doing a vague impression of it. I can't exactly remember what he's saying, but it's along the lines of, "I really like Angry Termite at the moment. I think Angry Termite's going to have a big summer. I love Gentle Giant. Gentle Giant's going to get a big glow up. And if you're looking to get involved with Angry Unicorn. Like, it's just fucking bananas.
It sounds like a turf accountant at the horses.
It's the kind of conversation that you see every so often, and you think, even 10 years ago, this is another language entirely. If you transplanted that conversation to 10 years ago, no one would know what he was talking about.
Well, he's the guy who does V-Friends. I'm looking at his most of like his YouTube interviews in the last few months have been NFTs are still alive. Actually, NFTs are still alive.
He says a lot of that with the manner of a man who's got quite a lot of money tied up in them.
Yeah, with increasing desperation. Yeah.
Did you ever get involved in the NFT stuff?
No, never.
You saw through it.
I didn't see anything that and certainly because we do stuff, and maybe in another world we could have got involved, but I think there was nothing that we could. There's nothing there's nothing for us there. There's nothing for anyone there.
Another great example for me of it's another piece of tech that I simply don't understand. So I'm not going to get my fingers burned. I'm just going to run a million miles away from it. And you know what? I might have lost £1 million not knowing what it is, but I'll live with that.
Yeah,
I'll live with it.
Whenever I said this to when I said this to John from VDC last night, I said never it's not a good example of the NFTs, but whenever like you get offered something from a platform owner, you know what I mean, somebody who runs your shit, YouTube or Patreon or whoever, whenever they offer you a new feature, don't be the first to use it. Never
first
be the
through
first
the door gets a bloody nose, right?
Never be the first to use it. Always just give it a bit of time and see how angry everyone gets about it.
They say the first people through the door get a bloody nose. By the way, when you first started talking about Johnny Burrell's jeans, I didn't know that was where you're going to take the story. I forgot to mention that a second ago.
Okay, nice.
I thought you were going to go for a bit of a, and when I met Johnny Burrell, he was like this.
He was all right. I've only had a couple of interviews with him. He seemed all right. I forget what his crimes were. Just wearing white jeans, I think.
Just obnoxious, I think.
Just
generally obnoxious.
Should that be a crime in rock music?
No, I think arguably that's what you want from a rock and roll star.
Exactly. Yeah. The problem is if you had to deal with Prince every day, you're like, fucking just stop it, all right?
Yeah.
But like the thing is, these guys they rarely get interviewed. And they rarely, but the modern pop star you have to have like a very close parasocial relationship with them. Do you know what I mean? They have to be constantly posting. They have to be constantly conversing. And that takes a lot of the mystique away, and it does make you more excruciating, I think.
I think Johnny Burrell got people pissed off because he said, from memory, he was a better songwriter than Bob Dylan.
Yeah, I mean,
and people was like, "You're not though." I mean, you're just not. So
yeah, back yourself.
Yeah, that's
back
the
yourself,
thing,
JB. Back yourself, mate. But
he said something like he used an analogy, which at the same time really exposed him as quite a limited songwriter because his imagination was so poor. It was like, if we live in a house together, I'm upstairs in the bedroom writing poetry, and Bob Dylan's downstairs making the chips, and it's like it's just confusing. What does it mean? It doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not. You need to think that through. Ironically, if Bob Dylan was doing an analogy like that, it would be much better.
Yeah,
and you could have a think about that.
Hey, Johnny's in the garden, snorting all the cocaine. I'm gonna.
I think there probably was some cocaine involved.
Admittedly, I am making the chips, but they're good chips. I'm Bob Dylan. Goodbye.
That's a really good impression, mate.
Thank you.
The amount of times I've listened to a song of Bob Dylan's and it's ended with "I'm Bob Dylan, goodbye."
I'm Bob Dylan, goodbye.
It's like his signature.
I'm going for a shit. Bye.
My mum called me the other day, said she was going to go get some tickets to see Bob Dylan because she's never seen him. And she was saying, do you think I should? She said, they're quite a lot of money. Do you think I should go? And I said, no.
Have you seen him recently?
I've seen him like 5 times, yeah.
Yeah. Has he got? Was there even at that point that you watched him the first time to the 5th? Was there even a progression downward? Was there even a trend downwards, or did you? Or was he? Has he plateaued at a really low level?
The first time I saw him, it was confusing because I was really excited, and it was back in about 2004, and I had obviously the internet wasn't really what it is now, and so I didn't know that was going to be what was happening. And so for those people listening or watching who don't know this. Bob Dylan's kind of live oeuvre is like, he basically just garbles all the songs with different arrangements, doesn't really sing. I mean, even for Bob Dylan, he doesn't really sing.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that, like, he never really sang properly anyway, but this is bad. And it to the point where, and it sounds like an exaggeration, but it isn't, it is, like, genuinely hard to know what song he's playing. So it's not the fact that, so, you say, like, once upon a time you dressed so fine, through the bums of dime in your prime, didn't you, right? Yeah. So that's the opening lines to Like a Rolling Stone, right? It's a very famous fucking song. People get the music. They know what the line is. Like, imagine a totally different melody. Any melody. Could be anything. So obviously the song goes, once upon a time you dressed so fine, through the bums of dime in your prime, didn't you? That's the song, right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
I'll do a rough approximation of what it sound like live. You have to imagine basically whatever music you like as a melody, because it could be anything. And it kind of sounds, and I've seen him like 4 or 5 times, and it's been randomized every time, but broadly across the same theme. It'll basically be something like this. Like that. But imagine that for 2 hours.
You can't even sort of like pace it. You're like, he should have.
No.
How did he get to the end of the line so quickly? And then in the last one, he took such a long time to get.
It's an amazing like situation where he is now quite literally trading on the fact that people are paying just to be in the same
room as
presence
him.
as him. Yeah.
That's modern. That's modern kind of fandom, isn't it? It's just kind of like the ticket is the ticket, and the Instagram is the thing that you're going to, I suppose, isn't it?
And I think I mean, it's up there with the most challenging shows or performers I've ever seen.
Football Ramble.
Yeah, that is very challenging, perhaps different reasons. But you and I perform very different roles in that situation. The other really genuinely quite challenging evening, weirdly enough, at the same venue where I first saw Bob Dylan, which was Brixton Academy, that I had, was going to see the Mars Volta.
Right, okay. But at least
You're
they're
familiar
quicker.
with their work.
At least they're quicker. At least they're punchier.
Yeah, but the problem with that was they did... So their music is obviously odd, and to say the least. And I don't know what you would describe it as. I mean, what would you describe it as?
It's just angular punk, isn't it? It's just quite angular punk music, isn't it? Kind of like
So the Mars Volta is the Mars Volta is much more, I would call it...
They were formed from the ashes of, what do you call it, weren't they?
At the Drive-In, who are definitely post-hardcore kind of punk. But like the Mars Volta is, I believe, come about because the two Afros were pissed off because the rest of the band couldn't play the songs they were now writing.
Right, okay.
And so they just branched off and did their thing. And I would call it, I would say it's basically probably progressive jazz, I would say.
Right, okay.
Anyway, so I went to go and see them, thinking, oh, this will be interesting. At this point, At the Drive-In had broken up and I'd never seen them. I have subsequently seen them, but I had never seen them at that point. I was like, oh, well, I should definitely go, because, I mean, I don't really like the Mars Volta music, but it'll be good. And it wasn't. They played essentially for about an hour and 15 minutes with no break, and then just went off again. It was like one song. It went on for, and what was really weird about it was that when you go to a gig, you kind of get used to the kind of pace of it. Okay, here's a song, here's a break. Yeah. Here's a song, here's a break. They're going to change the guitar around. They're going to, you know, whatever. Yeah. And this was just like one long performance piece that had nothing to hang your hat on, and they just left. You need to be seated at those gigs. Do you know what I mean? Like I was standing, and it felt like I'd grown a beard. It was so long. An hour and 15 minutes, the longest hour and 15 minutes of my entire life. Well, speaking of that, Luke, we've come to the end of another Luke and Pete show. We'll be back on Monday, 17th. Look after yourselves this weekend. If you are heading out, may I recommend a little-known gallery, the Tate Modern. Cracking jobblies, and some other stuff that's very good. There was, all right. I won't go into that now. I'll see you later. Bye. Bye.